world. It is January 22nd, and there's a really badass quote in Mom's calendar this morning. So here goes. And by the way, Mom, thank you for the other calendar because she got me this really, really cute sloth calendar. And I noticed I'm already using it without even noticing I'm using it, if that makes any sense. I've already been looking at it. I hung it right in front of my computer, and it's so much easier than bouncing back and forth between Gmail and computerized stuff. And I get a cute picture of a sloth, so it's pretty awesome. Okay, so January 22nd. This is definitely a goal of mine, and I hope that you can relate to this. Be somebody nobody thought you could be. Be somebody nobody thought you could be. I'm having a little, I guess, goal setting. I don't know if this is the right way to call it, but I was involved with a really, 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 really wealthy guy once upon a time. And after we split up and I was telling him about my dream and my stuff, this is not last year, but the year before. So at the end of 2019, I said to him, someday I'm going to have more money than you. And that's one example of the people that I thought of when I did this. I'm not sure he's convinced yet. We're still friendly or whatever, but and he'll know when I do it because I'll let him know. And it's, it's all about finding ways to make money for the dream, which I will do. But it's not about just money. I'm just saying it in my case. That's my somebody something is accomplishing my goals of 3, 2, 1, no kidding, which is everything from building my dream places all the way to the laws that I want to get changed and the lives I want to save. So it's a myriad of things. What is it for you? Think about that today. That'll be your homework early. I didn't even read today's reading, and I'm already giving you homework. Yeah. Be somebody nobody thought you could be. Do that actually every day. Okay. Jerry K says, see who you are, own who you are, be who you are. Don't apologize. At some point in our recovery, we need to admit to ourselves and others who we really are. Looking inside and pondering our shortcomings is not the most comfortable thing that the program has asked us to do. In the past, it's been more comfortable to deny them, to look the other way, to sweep the human error element under the rug. But the rewards are great. Once we own our shortcomings, once we tell them out loud to another person, once we've taken full responsibility for ourselves, who we are, what we are, and how we have acted. But the rewards are great. Oh, see, they did that crazy period thing again. The rewards are great once you own everything and have taken responsibility. Now we are closer to our higher power, who has accepted us all along. Now we can return to the spiritual support that is always available. When we admit who we are to ourselves and others, we are given the gift of self-acceptance and a sense of belonging to the human race. By opening ourselves this way, we enrich our relationships with our higher power, ourselves, and our fellow humans. These relationships bring a new sense of belonging and meaning to our lives. Today, help me tell myself, my higher power, and at least one other person who I really am. It's funny how the calendar talks about who we are and the reading talks about who we are or who we want to become. This whole shortcoming thing, and maybe this is why I don't mind saying my shortcomings or when I screw up or when I feel something I don't think I should feel or when I set a bad example to you. Not that it's intentional. I don't, make mistakes or feel certain ways just so I could be giving you a lesson on me screwing up too. But embracing our shortcomings is very powerful, especially when we tell them to other people. It takes away the power of them, as well as heightening the awareness for ourselves so that we can improve on them and work on them. What doesn't work for your mental health, spiritual health, your well-being overall is to ignore them and to sweep them under the rug, to not pay attention to them. Because if you're not doing any of that and you're not aware of them, and maybe that's it too, maybe you're not even knowing that they're shortcomings, you can't ever work on fixing them or making them better or trying to do better with them. I think there's habits and shortcomings that I've had, growing for the last 45 years that are going to be very hard to undo, but at least I could pay attention to them, acknowledge them, and release them or release whatever I'm doing that shows them. If I was really crabby and screamy the other day with the bank. That was not my finest moment, yelling at a brick building this week. Why aren't you open? And talking about it and acknowledging it. I told my walking buddy, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I was yelling at a building. And it wasn't like I was going to bounce anything. It wasn't like the world was falling. It was just my impatience, which is a shortcoming. So it reminded me that being impatient made me less happy in that moment. But I wouldn't know that if I wasn't acknowledging it. And looking at who we really are and what is going on with us and being honest. There was a business group I went to Wednesday, and this was almost a question. What is one of your business shortcomings? What's your limiting belief around it? This is another reason why I had to start a whole new other podcast, because I believe recovery and entrepreneurship looks so similar. The journey, the mindfulness, the results, it's just crazy. But at first I was like, well, I don't have any shortcomings. I'm doing everything just the way I'm supposed to. And if I'm not, well, then I'm working on it. And then I was like, whoa, no, that's not true. But that was my first thought, which is a shortcoming in itself. I got this. And I can't get complacent or cocky or overconfident. Otherwise, I could not be improving and not be as open-minded and not learning the lessons I'm supposed to learn. So it took a minute, and then I was able to make a huge list by the time we were done with the breakout session, not because anybody called me out on it, but because the more I gave it some thought. So that's what I would suggest too, is give yourself some time to think about this. Yes, I'm probably going to tell you, go meditate, sit quiet for 5 minutes and see what this looks like. When we did, so I've led the Recovery Dharma group the last 2 weeks in Cafe RE, which is an honor, and it's still scary to me, which is really funny because I talk to you guys every day, but I still get nervous every time I lead those meetings. And 2 Tuesdays ago, they changed the night on me. 2 Tuesdays ago, it's making me miss Justin, which I'll try to figure out balance because he does his recovery steps too on Tuesday nights at the same exact time. At any rate, 2 weeks ago, I picked out a meditation and it asked us, what is your purpose? And then there was another question, but what is your purpose? What is your life's purpose? And the way Dharma recovery in this atmosphere works, and maybe in others, I just haven't been exposed to it, is we do a little reading, we do the meditation, and then we talk about the meditation or whatever's going on in our day. And I got a lot of feedback whoa, this meditation was asking me to think about my life purpose. It was like a dig deep meditation. And someone had made the comment well, I've never done a meditation where I've been required to do work before. And I was like, and I kind of walked away with geez, maybe I screwed up. The feedback wasn't good about the meditation. Some of it was, but not all of it. And here I was taking note. So the people-pleasing part of me could have been a shortcoming in that moment. Losing my faith in that moment that, if I believe that everything I do and everything I say is supposed to be happening because I have faith that everything happens the way it's supposed to and everything is perfect and everything is improving, then I was questioning my faith essentially by going, oh, was that maybe not the right meditation? See how deep it goes once you start on this cycle? So this week, same thing. I showed up with a different meditation, and I'll be honest, and I told them I didn't listen to the whole thing before we did it. And it was another one where it's not really work, thinking about what your purpose is, but it is, giving some thought and asking yourself questions. And maybe some people are ready and some people aren't. I don't know. It's just different. So this one was an addiction meditation. And it did ask a lot of questions and challenge us, but it didn't feel work. It had a different style, and a lot of people were happy doing it. These weren't just zone out meditations. Like a lot of times it's like decompress from the day, spread love and kindness. Actually, now that I'm saying that, when you're spreading love and kindness and you're imagining all the people you can help, if you're doing an equanimity meditation, I guess you're kind of you're putting effort. I don't know that it's really work, but you're putting effort into deliberate thought. But at any rate, I lack confidence in that group because it's not my group. And I want to make sure that I'm giving the best value. So I second guess myself instead of, and this is all about the stories in our head, which is what I do as an entrepreneur, which is what I do as a person in recovery. This is what I do as a daughter, a sister, a girlfriend, or whatever. This is what happens is we tell ourselves stories, and most of the time they're absolutely false. Probably all the time they're probably false. So telling stories to myself that are false could be considered a shortcoming. But do you see how that was a couple layers deep? First, I had to notice that I was telling myself stories. Then I have to notice that the stories are not true. And then the next step, I guess, would be to make a decision about whether or not to work on them, and then finally work on whatever those stories are. And the fact I'm telling myself stories. This is actually part of what tied into learning and going over the power of now this week. I told you that I went to book club and we were studying Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. It's weird how much volunteer schooling or education I continue to go through. But that's essentially it. That was what we talked a lot about on Monday, was just noticing that we have thoughts. He didn't get into the story part, but that comes with the thoughts that we're having. The thoughts that we're having a lot of times are stories that may or may not be true. So think of your shortcomings. Think of your shortcomings as an opportunity to kind of go on this adventure. Like I just said 4 things to you, or I told you how to break this down in 4 steps. I didn't even know those steps existed 2 years ago. So take yourself on that journey. I'm telling you that we have thoughts because that's what I've learned. We have thoughts. We all know we have thoughts. And that we have the opportunity to view those thoughts. And we have the opportunity to learn from them, share them, heal from them, and become better people because of them. You could be somebody nobody thought you could be by addressing your shortcomings and just, not gambling, doing the next right thing, all the things we talk about all the time. So that's what I got for you, beautiful people. I hope you have a fantastic kickoff to the weekend. I have a full self-care day planned tomorrow, so I'll have to be up and early to chat with you. And who's releasing today? I feel like we have somebody releasing today. Make sure am I losing my mind? Yeah, today's Friday, so somebody must have released. Oh my goodness. I'm losing track of the days, guys, but I'm sure there's an interview. I just did it last week too. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind. I'm looking it up because I feel horrible. It's not that my guests aren't memorable. It's just that I have so many guests I can't remember where I'm at. Sugar. Yep, I'm having a really hard time finding it. Anyway, check out today's interview. I know it was good. Oh, it was my little friend from England. Little Alex. It was Alex, and it was really good. It's nice to get reminded that there are different ways to recover, and that's what Alex, I think, did a really good job of conveying how his journey went and his feelings along the way and how he's doing today. So make sure you check that out today. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you later, beautiful people.